Will Total War Rome Remastered ever get DLC? First of all, let's define what to me is a good, ethical DLC. A good DLC is something that adds to the game for people who already enjoy it, and cannot be achieved by modders. For example, the best DLCs ever, Barbarian Invasion. Yes, the units and campaign map can be done by modders, but it added so many new mechanics, religion, hordes, swimming, emergent factions, etc. This could not really have been achieved by modders before, so it made for a good DLC. Even the Kingdoms DLC added new mechanics for each campaign. Fall of the Samurai, again it was enjoyable and added new stuff. Age of Charlemagne, likewise. War Weariness, the settlement building system where it helps neighbouring provinces, which I think is one of the best building systems we ever got, and a load more stuff. Now let's take a look at some of the worst DLC. Culture packs, some of them literally were mods at one point. However, Warhammer faction packs are okay, because those actually add so much more to the game, to the factions, and takes it a step beyond what Rome 2's culture packs were, so those are okay and ethical in my opinion. Feel free to disagree, but Rome 2's culture packs and even Attila's were not. Rise of the Samurai often has been described as a mod, also happened to get a lot of negative reviews. And Thrones of Britannia. That DLC for Attila is said to just feel like a mod for Attila. So if Feral was to make DLC, it would have to fit this same rule. It would have to really add something. A lot of people say they want new factions in there as DLC, but what can Feral really add to that scene that modders cannot do? Not much, I don't think. So here's a few DLC ideas for them, which could exist. Caesar's Civil War, a campaign that would be full of political intrigue. What if it added events, stuff that can be decided upon with a yes or no, or maybe other options, like what was introduced into Medieval 2. A new mechanic that modders cannot make. Also, this DLC will then unlock further mod support, helping modders with their overhauls, giving them a reason to come back and do a few more additions to it. Maybe this can add a faction re-emergent mechanic. Again, modders cannot do it, so it's justifiable. And it also adds to the modding scene. Rome lacks a technology tree. Why not then add a DLC where tech was an important factor? Maybe the Punic Wars, or early Rome, a DLC based on that, and their new feature is a tech tree. Imagine a Sea Battles DLC. A DLC that adds ships and functional sea battles to the game. This could also come with new units, new maps, new mechanics, new historical battles, and lastly a unique settlement DLC, which makes important cities like Carthage and Rome feel more like Carthage and Rome. This merged with Sea Battles DLC could make a pretty cool Carthage battle. But modders can then use this to make multi-layered settlements and loads more interesting stuff. As said, this game's main selling point is not the game itself. This is also what I mentioned over a year ago in my speculation videos. It's the modding support that is going to keep it alive for the rest of the decade. So why not just release campaigns that are fun to play and worth it, but also breathe new life into the modding scene? I would also want to see a cut content DLC. It's not all just factions. we now believe they had a wonder building mechanic, a food mechanic, where soldiers actually cost a food upkeep, and a mechanic which seemed like it allowed decimation for some reason. I also think it would be a good final DLC to pay one last sign of respect to this game. And I know it's a controversial one, but this is the only Total War where I think a pay for blood and gore pack would be justified, given that it is a remaster. Rome 2, it should be there on launch with the game. Attila, it should be there on launch with the game. Warhammer, same again. But Rome Remastered does not need it. That's not what classical Rome was about. So a paid for DLC, I think would be okay here. Personally, I see a lot of potential here to make good and engaging DLC that can make the team at Feral more money and hopefully further fund a Medieval 2 Remastered, but also in an ethical way that seriously expands the life cycle of the game. Maybe you disagree, and that is okay. Up to you. Let me know why. I just personally do not want to see potential go to waste, and I certainly don't want to see them delete mods off Steam and re-upload it as their own, but under a price tag. That would not be good. Comment below what DLC campaign you would want to see, and what new interesting mechanics they could add with it. Anyway, like the video if you liked my idea or found it interesting. Subscribe and turn on notifications to get notified of more, and I hope to see you in the next one, tomorrow's video, but for now, MELKOR.